Learn more about the breakthrough technology of the Silver Lungs generator. That's www.silverlungs.com.
Waging war on corruption. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
Okay, I got 5 or 6 callers that I'm absolutely bent on getting to. John, Julio, Bobby, Janice, Jack. We've got Lindsey Williams for 2 more segments. We'll obviously have him up in the near future. Again, everything he laid out is happening exactly as he said it would. Very scary stuff. I just want to add, you can go to prophecyclub.com, get his latest DVD breaking all this down, called Middle East, the rest of the story, or 888-799-6111. If you want to share that with your friends and family, we appreciate him breaking all this here. John in Wisconsin. John, you're on the air with Lindsey Williams. Go ahead.
Hello, guys. This is a real privilege to be on with you guys. I got a few comments I'd like to make and get Lindsey's take on them and some questions. One of my things that was just answered, I think it was answered, Lindsey, you've talked a number of times about China being the big one. That leaves a lot to imagination, and I wonder if that ties in somehow with these reports you hear about Chinese troops being, north and south of the border, but primarily south of the border.
Well, they did give them the Panama Canal, and both sides of the government, Republican and Democrat, and all 3 branches went along with that. But, I mean, there's this obsession with the Chinese invading. They won't have to invade. They own our debt. They own thousands of U.S. companies. But go ahead with your question. I'm sorry.
Well, it ties in with that, and the reports that I've received that I believe are factual with hundreds of thousands of UN troops and foreign troops in different areas of this nation. So that was one thing I'd like either you or Lindsey to comment on. But going back, Lindsey, to back in October, and I listened to everything that you say, especially when you're on Alex Jones programs, you talked about it was said in there that there was. I'm wondering if they changed their time frame, because I remember you commented it was 6 to 9 months for the move in crude to be $150 to $200 a barrel, and then it seemed like maybe they were altering their time frame, because it seemed like it was, then it was 12 months, and then maybe by the end of 2012, and then combine that with the move in Brent crude. Is it specifically Brent crude? Because that seems to be taking off more than the New York crude, which wouldn't really affect the United States quite so much.
First of all, let's go back to China. The greatest impact that you're going to see out of China, then I'll get to the crude question. The greatest impact you're going to see on the United States of America. Can you imagine the shelves of Walmart without a single product on them said made in China?
Everything's made out of oil. Everything's shipped with oil. I mean, it drives up everything.
Yeah, that's the greatest impact China's going to have on America. They're beginning to realize that they have been double-crossed, that the paper they're holding is going to become worthless. I'm quite sure they've listened to Alex Jones' show. They're bound to know what the elitists are doing. And as a result, they are buying gold and silver by the tons. Do you realize what China's doing? They're getting out of paper.
John, thank you.
And how much do we know they're selling secretively?
Yeah, we've got to move quick to get to all these calls. But, folks, it's in mainstream newspapers that they've signed deals to use foreign troops against the American people. But no one ever calls about that. I can't get any attention on it. It's always the rumors, the rumors. Folks, the rumors are over. It's in Ottawa Citizen. It's in other papers. I've shown them here with the headlines. Foreign military to be used inside the U.S. I don't know how else I'm telling you. It's admitted. Julio in Illinois, you're on the air with Lindsey Williams.
Gentlemen, God bless you both on this beautiful Wednesday. Lindsey, a quick question for you. 2 quick questions, and Alex, something if you can ask Max. Lindsey, I'm getting set to do an independent documentary on 501c3 in the churches and the devil's Messiah. How is there any way I could possibly interview you sometime in the future? Secondly, has your elitist friend, the new Mr. X, talked about what's going on in Japan with Fukushima and the whole nuclear disaster? And then finally, with gold and silver, what's going on with CarMax and the way silver is skyrocketed to $39 an ounce? And Alex, if you could ask Max how this is going to affect once silver is near the pinnacle of J.P. Morgan's Chase stock price, which is at $46.
All right, I'll bring that up with Keiser when he joins us in about 30 minutes. We'll have Lindsey answer those questions you just asked after the break. So we'll be right back. Stay with us. Lindsey Williams on the other side. Hundreds of nations have fallen to tyranny in the last century alone. This is our last chance to not relive history.
As we're finishing off this agenda, they'll be pulling the rug from underneath Americans at home.
They have tremendous influence on our president and Congress, and they really are calling the shots.
I think it's incumbent upon all of us as American citizens to pay attention.
Fall of the Republic identifies the enemies of our nation, the criminal offshore cartel, hell-bent on destroying sovereignty, and on its ashes constructing world government.
Tim Geithner, Bernanke, they're arsonists. They're asking for more matches. And the Congress is saying, who do we make the check out to?
Today, it seems like nobody does care. And right now in Washington, D.C., we have seen a fall of the Republic.
Get your copy of Fall of the Republic on DVD at Infowars.com or watch it online right now in super high quality at prisonplanet.tv. This is Alex Jones with 5 good reasons you should consider buying a solar power generator. Number 1, new climate legislation could easily double or triple your electric bill. Number 2, our new energy czar wants to control how much power your electric company allows you to have. It's true. Total government control of electricity in the name of smart grid technology is coming. Number 3, in some areas of the country, the power grid is dangerously overloaded. And now new socialist legislation is only compounding the problem. Number 4, dangerous weather is always a threat to local grids. Every year, thousands of families lose their power from weather-related outages. Number 5, a solar power generator provides powerful backup insurance and peace of mind. Folks, I really believe in the solar power generators offered by Solutions from Science, one of my oldest sponsors. You can get more information at www.mysolarbackup.com. That's mysolarbackup.com. Remember, the government doesn't own the sun, so go to mysolarbackup.com or call 1-877-327-0365. A very wealthy U.S. citizen is predicting that in 2011, we will witness the most important day in America in more than 50 years. He says it will change everything about our lives. The way you shop, travel, invest, educate your children, and even how you take care of your health and your own family. Now, this man has made some outrageous predictions over the years. The crazy part is, he's usually right. You see, he predicted the collapse of GM, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and America's biggest mall owner, General Growth Properties. In fact, Barron's called his work a dire prophecy. Recently, he created a video, which you can watch online for free, detailing his biggest and most important prediction yet. And it's a real eye-opener. I can't stress this enough. You should at least watch this free video online today. He explains everything you need to know, including simple steps you can take to protect yourself. You can find the video at www.endofamerica3.com. That's endofamerica3.com. Watch the free video at www.endofamerica3.com. That's endofamerica3.com.
He's the T-Rex of political talk. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network.
Ron Paul is calling for investigations of the U.S. Mint. The Federal Reserve, a lot more set to do that tomorrow in Congress. Max Keiser coming up in about 22 minutes to go over this breaking news with us. We're almost out of time with Lindsey Williams. It's clear we're going to have him back up on air with us next week for part 2 of this. But I got lost in the mix exactly what Julio's first question was. I do remember his question for Max Keiser I will bring up. But let's go ahead and talk to Bobby in Florida. Bobby, you're on the air with Lindsey Williams.
Great. Thank you, Alex. Long-time monthly member, first-time caller. I own a small recycling yard in Florida and taking a lot of advice on the gold and silver. But in our poor economy, I've had a lot of people asking me what a backup may be and kind of would like to get Lindsey's thought on copper. I keep telling people copper pennies from 82 and back will probably be worth dollars someday.
Yeah, that's something you can get out of general pennies. The people don't know that they're worth a lot more, the old pennies, than the new ones, and you can cash those in. But all commodities, as the dollar's devalued, historically will go up. Lindsey?
the only reason that gold and silver is going to continue to escalate and probably never stop. You think $3,000 an ounce for gold is going to be high. You haven't seen anything. After they put in the new world currency, they'll continue to take it up. The reason that's going is because they want to back the new world currency with something that is tangible, gold and silver.
And by the way, the IMF and World Bank have talked about this new global currency. You'll still have your local currencies. They'll just be denominated and controlled by this private central bank of the world that Newsweek has written about. And they say it'll be partially gold-backed. So you're correct there as well, Lindsey. Bobby, anything else?
Also, yeah, I'd like to catch Lindsey's idea on the government poised for the shutdown. You think this is a something headed into just a move for their elitism?
It's another stunt to keep spending high. Lindsey?
Yeah, the elite have, okay, the gentleman just earlier in the program called and said, you said something about the price of crude oil going to a certain place by a certain date. The elite have had to, should I say, they'll go up to $4 a gallon, they'll come back to $3.80. They'll go up to $4.25. They've had to go back and forth on this in order to keep the American people from waking up.
They throttle it.
One thing about the elite, they do not want the American people to wake up. They do not want anarchy. They want a slow frog in the pot boiling sort of a situation. Yeah. So this is the reason that they do this.
All right, Bobby, thank you. We got to move quick now to get to all these callers. But that's something else in October you told me that was really creepy, because I don't really even like being on their radar because I know they're dangerous people. You said that your sources, both known to yours truly, said that this radio show is definitely on the radar?
Oh, they're definitely watching you, Alex. 2 times over these past 35 years, they've contacted me and threatened me. They haven't done that to you yet, fortunately, and I don't think they will, because please, you've got to see this. The last thing I've been told, I was told this by Mr. Fromm before he passed away, the last thing to go in America is going to be talk radio. People like you and others that are doing the same thing you're doing. You are the last people they're going to shut up. The reason is they don't want the American people to get too alarmed over what's happening. They know when that happens that the American people will get upset. At that point, they'll have them so under control by the dollar that they can basically do with them what they want to. But, yes, you are on their radar.
Oh, boy. Janice in Michigan, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Thank you. It's an honor to talk to both of you. And, Lindsey, we even show your films in our Sunday school class, for the prophecy class. And, I've been telling my friends that when GM was going there, they're saying, they're going down, they're bankrupt, they're going bankrupt. And I said, this is planned, this is a takedown, and this is a government takeover. I called it, and they made fun of me. When we went into Egypt, I said when all this was going on in Egypt, they called me a Mubarak supporter. Thanks a lot, I mean, these are patriotic friends that supposedly accused me of being and I told them this was a planned, staged thing, and that it was going to spread throughout the Middle East, because I listen to you and I know what's going on. I can see it. I know how to interpret the news, and I'm just so thankful for you today to be saying this. And this is all staged. And I would like to ask Ron Paul about the Tea Parties and have you and Alex talk more about this, because they've been taking over, or the Republican Party is all it is. But and Ron Paul's the one that started the Tea Parties. But my question to you, Lindsey, is about the stock market. Do you have any news on what would happen to the stock market as the dollar falls?
The plunge protection team is going to keep the stock market up as long as they possibly want it there. And the only reason it's staying there is because of the plunge protection team that comes to its rescue every day. By the way, I feel honored that you would show my films in your Sunday school class. This is appreciative of me. Now, every single one of us, so you, me, all of us, are thankful to Alex Jones. Do you realize that none of this message could get out were it not for Alex's program?
Well, Lindsey, I appreciate that, and we appreciate you, but we've got to hurry to the next caller, but I'm just doing my duty. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, Janice. Jack in Illinois. We got to move really quick now to get to everybody. Jack, you're on the air.
Hey, Alex. Lindsey, I certainly respect your work. Let's go back to the BP Gulf oil disaster for a moment. What's your take on the reason the tsunami did not occur as you, Richard Hoagland, and others predicted? And then also, what do you feel is the actual